just never know when I'm going to pop up. So it's a good job you're not asking me to walk to meet you.
You've been sat there waiting and getting your breath back. Is that still really tired and breathless?
Yeah, I mean, as head-wise, absolutely fine. Got rid of all the fogginess and I feel like I can do all sorts. Body-wise, I can't. Still breathless. If you asked me to walk 200 yards, I'd be on my knees for the last 50. It's just, they've just said it's a long process to get back. And I mean, I'm lucky we got home for Christmas. Hooray, that was fab.
Both of you and Andrew both home together for Christmas.
Yeah, but it's left me with a few side effects that they hope in time will disappear. But hey ho, I'm here, and hopefully everything's good. I just hope people really, really do take it serious, because even if they themselves don't get COVID, they don't get severe symptoms, it doesn't mean that members of the family won't, and it doesn't mean friends, family, grandma, auntie, uncle. The vaccine, announced yesterday, fantastic. But I hope people just give chance for that vaccine to get out there and make a difference, and just put everything on hold.
Yeah. We're on the final straight, aren't we? I think that's what people need.
Lecture finished.
Yeah. Well, Pamela. What I thought we could do, because we've missed out on we usually like to do our festive films, don't we?
We do.
December. Missed out on that this year for a number of reasons. Obviously, the main one being you ended up very poorly and in hospital.
Yeah.
Not done our Christmas films. No, we did one actually. We did one that was supposed to be from Santa's grotto.
Yeah.
Which was just very bad lighting. So we haven't done our festive films. We've done obviously there's been festive stuff on social media. I thought we could do a bit of a 2020 review, which might be very short.
Oh, that's going to be jolly, isn't it? Cheers!
Goodbye 2020. That's my 2020. Yeah. But I think obviously it's been a challenge. There's been, from start to finish, there's been challenges professionally and personally for the team, which we can touch on. But there has been highlights as well, and I think it's really important. I don't think there's many people that are going to be sad to say goodbye to this year, I have to say, or other choice words, which I probably would be saying if I'd had a little bit more of this. Is what I'll stick to. But I think it's important to highlight those good bits as well, because there's been good bits, and what it's shown, I think it's shown the support that we've got and the loyalty of our support,
the commitment.
Absolutely. And that first sort of emergency appeal, when it first happened, when we were still a bit like that, what on earth happened, straight away people were jumping in to help, which
what can they do? And
what do you need, what can we do? And it's just, and that's been really positive. And I think it's really important to go into next year, please let it be a better year, but I think it's important to take with us the lessons that we've learned from this year and those positives we've learned from this year as well. So that's what I was thinking. So I've had a bit of a think, because obviously,
because you love to plan. Helen, anybody who doesn't know, Helen plans everything for us.
What people have learned this year from me: number one, I like a plan. Number two, I like a game. She likes a plan, she likes a game.
When I go cheers, I have been on water now, and since the 3rd of December. I should be looking young and youthful, because everyone goes, oh, drink water. Anyway, I'll tell you what I'll give a cheers to. Cheers to David Lunn. There we go, David. Cheers from me for my month's worth of water drinking.
There, he'll be pleased with that. Should be getting a certificate. I think one of my highs is probably also one of my lows. So definitely for me, a highlight has been the pattern launch at the university of the partnership and our Scout with the Scout Cooling. which was basically, I'm sure most people know, but that was Paxman have generously offered to provide scalp cooling for all young cancer patients completely free of charge. I know they're just superstars. Free of charge to the NHS, free of charge to the patient, free of charge to the charity. They're branding things in. They organised the launch. And that's been, the project has been a highlight, definitely. But that looked a long time coming, not just with the partnership, but for scalp cooling to be made available for young patients has been a very long time coming, hasn't it?
It has.
Massive highlight, massive highlight. Just, it was such a proud moment for the charity, wasn't it?
Yes.
To have Claire Paxman had got the lights on the Oslo building lit up in the charity's colours, and it was just incredible. I wasn't there, so that's my bringing it to the low.
I think this springs to mind.
So I started off the year, as people may know, starting treatment for bowel cancer. Absolutely adamant that other than the few hours that I was having chemotherapy, the rest of the time I would be in work, getting on with my work, you know. Thanks very much. Get the chemo out and off I get on.
Again, I'm going to say it again, worked with her before.
Yeah, that wasn't, and then obviously you were going, not so sure, Helen, I think you're going to have to just play that one by ear. I'm going, no, I'll be fine. Anyway. So, and that was the first real upset for me, I have to say. I was absolutely adamant that I was going to be at that launch, and was going to feel, you know.
It was your project.
I was just so excited to be sharing the stage with those people, with Claire Paxman, with people that were going to be speaking. So I was so devastated, but I did get to see how incredible it was, and because of the people involved, and I knew you would obviously there representing the charity. Sarah Dransfield got up and was speaking, Claire and the guys at Paxman. I knew it was in absolutely wonderfully safe hands. So there was no part of me that was like, oh, I need to be there for this reason. I just so wanted to be there. It was I think it was probably the first time that I cried.
Yeah. Really? Oh, I think I shed a tear.
I don't think I was the only one, was I? But when I realised that actually one of the side effects from my chemotherapy was that it burns your eyes when you cry. It didn't last very long. It was sort of I feel a bit sorry for myself, you know, welling up a little bit, and they're like, oh my word, what is that? So that stopped quite quickly, and just I did the face instead of the actual tears. So that has been definitely for me, definitely a highlight.
Yeah. It was an amazing positive for the charity, because as the lockdown started to take place, we could stand proud and say we were delivering projects.
Yeah. It
was hard, but we were delivering projects, you know, and that is thanks to Paxman's.
Yeah. Early on, when you and I spoke about what on earth is this and what is it going to do, because it kind of hit. I mean, it kind of hit at the time. I had a bit more treatment, but I was looking forward to sort of, I'd passed the halfway mark, because I'd had the operation, I'd passed the halfway mark, and I was looking forward to sort of I'd found out I only had 2 rounds of chemotherapy after the operation, so I knew I was going to be back earlier than I thought I was going to be, and I was looking forward to it, and then that happened. And you and I sort of said, what did we want to achieve from the year? And I think that was really important for you, hasn't it? That we had that goal of honouring the support that we'd promised, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, everybody knows we're not a big charity by any means, and to be able to fund research, we have to save up to fund research. And then, you know, only 18 months before that, we'd pledged big money for the charity to 2 research projects, which took our, took our funding down. So when we hit the lockdown, it was a very nervous and a very worrying time for us, because, you know, we were entering a year when we needed to build up the funds again to be able to do another project. And then it happened, and it made us extremely nervous. And we looked at the projects, and one of the projects that we needed to continue to fund was research that is taking place in our own town with the lovely Dr. Nick, but then also a smaller research programme that's taking place in Leeds. So we needed to commit to those, and we needed to commit to the gifts appeal.
Yeah.
And if things weren't going to be good to the charity, at least we would meet our commitments with those.
Yeah.
So I think that for us gave us a positive and gave us an aim.
Yeah.
And whatever else it all threw at us, that we knew that we could fulfill those projects.
That was the focus, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, definitely. Yeah.
And it's, you know, we're at the end of the year now, and we did what we set out to do. Would you say that's your highlight then? Would you say that's...
I would say so, yeah, the fact that we did it.
Those that need that interpretation. Those words were, we did it. Yeah, no, I'm so proud, because genuinely, it was, I was not back at work when it happened. I was pretending to be, but and my concentration span, as we know, was about 7 minutes. I wasn't back at work, and then this happened, and we have worked together without each other before, as you know, 7 years ago. Is that what it would be?
Yeah. Yeah, 7 years ago.
We're off with breast cancer, and sort of, I have said to people this year, it's like we're passing the baton back and forth, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
For a bit. So we've done it, but then it was like this additional challenge was thrown in as well, and we genuinely sit thinking together, and definitely, I know we will have done separately, thinking, is this it? Is this the end of the road? And then the other part of you kicks in, doesn't it? Where it's like, absolutely not. It is not happening.
Yeah.
We're both like that. I think we both allow ourselves that moment of, oof, this is a tough one. But then it's no, because we're not going to allow that to happen. So those, so it was this year. Definitely, let's meet those. We're not letting anybody down. We've got to get the money in to pay for those projects. We've already promised. No way we'll let young people down at Christmas. We're doing the Christmas campaign.
Yeah.
And it's happened, and we've done it, and everything's been honoured, and all the projects have been paid for, and which is brilliant.
It's massive, because we are just a very small charity.
I feel like I do certainly sort of towards the end of the year when what happened with you and Andrew, I feel like at various points we've really had our hands held by the people that are involved with the charity.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about another highlight actually, and there's kind of 2 highlights for this. So we had we've tried to keep things as normal as possible to a certain extent. So we have managed to have a couple of online Fight Club events, and the last one with Rybrook was a festive thing. And that's been one of my highlights, because there was so many lovely people on that. It was just after you'd got out of hospital, so that was it was sort of a positive after a positive, and then to have you pop on at the end of the call, and I'm watching people's responses was just so lovely, like genuine, because I was able to, because I knew what was happening, so I was able to get people's responses as you sort of put onto the
sorry, and
it was just a genuine excitement, and it was lovely, and you think they're more than our charity supporters, aren't they?
The friends.
Yeah, they are friends.
Yeah.
Genuine, lovely.
I really think I would like, once this vaccine, we've all had it and stuff, I think one of our fight clubs needs to be a hug fest. We really need a hug fest. I have so many people to thank. So yeah, we'll have a hug fest. There'll be like a 12-foot circle around me of distance.
From the lady that doesn't really like, is not the hug.
For somebody who's not very, you know,
always prefers a head pat, don't you?
Yeah, I do prefer a good head pat, but I do think we need a hug fest.
I do. Yeah, we're missing that. I think
I'm going to give you the one first. You're going to get it first.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
no, but it's just been so.
It has been a bizarre, scary 12, well, going on for 12 months, full of unknowns, full of, you know, what next is, you know, what can we do? How can we, you know, I mean, the virtual run that everybody did.
Yeah, the virtual Great North Run went that went really well, didn't it?
That went so well, and so many people did that for us, which was just so, it was just amazing, you know, that people were willing to get out there, and Sinead sort of instigated and prompted that for us, which, you know, she sort of took it over and made it happen. So,
well, Sinead's parlour has got a way with people. She does make things happen, and that had happened quite early on, hadn't it? I think really in when everything sort of, all the restrictions were in place. She was like, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a virtual event, and it sort of came around that, and obviously our ambassadors and Keith got involved, and that was brilliant, and it's made us do things that we probably wouldn't have ordinarily done. And even though people couldn't come together like they ordinarily would for an event like that, we still managed to sort of create a bit of a community by media and through sort of the online platforms and that kind of thing. So yeah, that was really good. That has to be a highlight of the year, hasn't it?
Yeah, whether they want to see me or not.
Do you know what? That just made me think about, actually, and it's a silly one. This is probably one of my highlights, because when I came back to work, we did Especially for You, didn't we?
Oh, we
did our version of Especially for You, which was really funny. I really liked.
Well, we thought it was funny.
As usual, you and I rolling about laughing over it, and then other people. Well, I think other people find it funny-ish, not as funny as us. Loved that. That was really good.
You made a very good Jason Donovan.
I've made a very good. Well,
can you hear that?
That's a lie. Yeah.
Can you hear that?
You said I look more like Pat Sharp.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I could say something else, but I'm not.
Is it going to be really rude?
No. Just about somebody being stuck in a lift for 10 minutes.
Me? Again. Yeah. Was I stuck in there as Jason Donovan? Was it that same?
Yeah, I think you were, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, to explain, I thought, so we've got it's kind of we use it to send boxes up and stuff, don't we, at work, the lift. And we know it's not always the most reliable. So I decided to get in the lift, whatever. Yeah, with my Jason Donovan Pat Sharp wig on and my leather jacket, and got stuck for a while.
10 minutes later, she's still
to go get help.
To go get help to get you out.
I was so embarrassed. I thought, I know I'm not supposed to use this lift, but I did it anyway.
Yeah, there's a big sign on it.
Please let me out. Yeah, there is a sign on it saying anybody stupid enough to get it. It doesn't say that, but it should say anybody stupid enough to get in this lift deserves what they get. I'm talking to you, Merv.
Just in case our landlord Chris is listening.
We're only joking.
We're joking.
It's a joke. April Fool.
It's a joke. We're just joking, Chris. I hope everybody will still support us next year. Help us make a massive difference to the lives of these young people, because they, you know, we've all not had the best of years, but they have definitely not had a good year. We've started getting feedback from the Christmas gifts that we've sent, and you know, every one of them has said we are so grateful, because we can't usually have, you know, usually we get lots of things for our young patients, but this year, because of COVID, we have been unable to. So, you know, your gifts this year have made a massive difference to these young people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, we've said before, haven't we? They've just had, you know, the uncertainty that we've all experienced has made us very unsettled and has caused all sorts of problems. But these young people have got that initial uncertainty of cancer and what is that going to mean, and then their uncertainty thrown in on top of that, and sort of, you know, we've just had a Christmas not like we've had before. You know, for most people it's been much quieter, with less family, but at least we've been at home. You know, the young
yeah,
people that got
absolutely.
those gifts weren't even at home.
Yeah.
And you know, we don't know what each of the hospitals have done, but generally speaking, there's no visitors in hospital. You know, you can't have people in with you. So just picture that. It's horrendous. Never did they deserve those gifts. And if we could do more, we'd have done more, wouldn't we? But never have people deserve
I think as well, it's worth mentioning you know, usually we get so many selection boxes, but everybody has listened to us this year, and they've helped us financially, as opposed to us having this massive selection box and stuff. And by doing that, you know, that has helped us, you know, carry on and complete that campaign, and make sure that all those young people were not forgotten. And so, you know, we really thank everybody who put themselves out, who raised money for the gift appeal.
And there's so many, isn't there? So we've started highlighting the companies through. We're doing the 12 days of Christmas, so we've started it, and that'll work into the new year. But on top of those companies that have sort of possibly given us very big chunks of money, so many people have supported either by going online and buying gifts through, you know, parts of the gift box, going on and donating through the virtual gift tree, Christmas gift tree. Just people have rallied round it. It's been really...
It's been humbling.
And humbling, yeah, absolutely, humbling. To see people come together like that when things are so uncertain for everybody, you know, in challenging times for everybody. The fact that people are still thinking about people is just beautiful. I just so privileged to be in this position, to be able to see that goodness in so many people. It's lovely, and that's what we've got to take into next year. It's going to, we've said this, next year is our challenge, definitely. But you know, we've just got the most wonderful people around us, so
I think that's a good way to end.
Yeah. Well, we're heading very swiftly into the new year, as I said. I don't think many people will be sad to say goodbye to 2020, but we've got to feel positive to say hello to 2021. So we have to wish everybody a happy new year. You got your water?
I've got my water. I wish everyone a really good, happy, healthy,
brighter
and brighter 2021.
Definitely.
Cheers.
Happy New Year. Cheers.
Can you say that is? Cheers. Oh, that was nice.